Hello Bear Den, it's me again, your den leader, Mr. Townsend. This week we are going to work on a new adventure called Paws for Action. It is one of the required adventures needed to earn your bear rank emblem, and it focuses on citizenship, emergency preparedness, and helping people in the community. I figured this might be an even more appropriate one to work on right now with the upcoming election. Does anyone know what citizenship means? Feel free to pause this video for a second and talk about this with your adult partner. Being a citizen means to be a legal member of a municipality, state, or country. For example, we are all citizens of the city of Wausau, or one of the neighboring townships. We are also citizens of the state of Wisconsin and of the United States of America. In the United States, you are considered a citizen if you are born here in this country, or if your family emigrated or moved to this country, you can go through a process to become a citizen called naturalization. So what does it mean to be a good citizen then? Any ideas? Again, feel free to stop this video for a moment and discuss this with your adult partner. Being a good citizen includes things like obeying rules and laws, helping other people, voting in elections when you're old enough, telling the proper authority like police, firefighters, or emergency responders if someone is in danger or hurt, and being responsible for your own actions and how they affect others. So that is what we are referring to when we say we will do our duty to our country and help other people at all times in the Scout Oath. These are things a good citizen and Scout does. This adventure can be found in your handbook on page 106, and you can see here what the belt loop will look like. Today, we will talk about or work on requirements 1, 2, and 3. I will let you know what you need to do at home to complete these. So let's get started this meeting with the way we always start our meetings, by reciting the Pledge of Allegiance, Scout Oath, and Scout Law. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now please raise your right hand in the Cub Scout sign and join me in saying the Scout Oath followed by the Scout Law. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty, to God and my country, to obey the Scout Law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. 2. We will start today with requirement number 1, which says to learn about our nation's flag and display it at home for at least a month. I have attached a picture of the American flag to the email regarding this virtual den meeting, which you can print out and post proudly in your house in a prominent place if you do not already have the flag on display in your home. The requirement also says to learn the meaning of the Pledge of Allegiance. But first, we're going to get started with talking about the flag. If you look at page 109 in your handbook, you can see it says, "The United States flag is an important symbol of our country. We show respect for the flag because it represents our country and those who have fought to protect it. The flag was born on June 14, 1777. And it originally had just 13 stripes with 13 stars to represent the 13 original colonies. As more states joined the United States over the years, the flag has changed many times. The current flag has 50 stars representing the 50 states and 13 stripes representing those original 13 colonies that declared independence from the Kingdom of Great Britain. The current design of the U.S. flag is its 27th, having been modified officially 26 times since 1777. The colors of the flag are symbolic as well. Red symbolizes hardiness and valor, white symbolizes purity and innocence, and blue represents vigilance, perseverance, and justice. At the time of the Declaration of Independence in July 1776, the Continental Congress had not legally adopted a flag for our country. The flag, at that time known as the Continental Colors, has historically been referred to as the first national flag, and later has been referred to as the Grand Union flag. The Continental Navy raised the colors as the ensign of our fledgling nation in the American War for Independence, and used this flag until 1777, when it formed the basis for the first official design. Although it is not a proven factual event, legend has it that Betsy Ross sewed the first American flag from a pencil sketch given to her by George Washington. The official original American flag, adopted by the Continental Congress in 1777, had 13 stripes and 13 stars to represent the original 13 colonies, which included Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Georgia, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Maryland, South Carolina, New Hampshire, Virginia, New York, North Carolina, and Rhode Island. In 1794, the Flag Act authorized a new 15-star and 15-stripe flag. This regulation went into effect on May 1, 1795, and the Star-Spangled Banner became the new official flag of the United States. The 2 additional stars and stripes were added to the original design in order to represent the addition of Vermont and Kentucky. This particular edition of the American flag is known as the Star-Spangled Banner because it was the actual flag that flew over Fort McHenry and served as the inspiration for Francis Scott Key's song that would become the national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner. The 30-star flag became the official American flag on July 4, 1848. A star was added for the state of Wisconsin, which was admitted to the United States of America on May 29, 1848. This 34-star flag became the official American flag on July 4, 1861. A star was added for the state of Kansas, which was admitted to the United States of America on January 29, 1861. This was the flag that was flown by armies of the North during the first half of the Civil War. The flag had 34 stars to represent all of the country's states, even those that were attempting to secede from the Union. The 48-star flag became the official American flag on July 4, 1912. 2 stars were added for the admission of New Mexico and Arizona to the United States. The 48-star flag was in effect for 47 years until the 49-star version became official on July 4, 1959, when Alaska joined the Union. This flag was flown during both World War I and World War II. Here is an old photo of American troops on parade in Connecticut in 1917 when the U.S. joined World War I. And you can see the 48-star flag hanging from the buildings. Here's another famous photo of some troops raising the flag after the Battle of Iwo Jima in World War II. The 50-star flag became the official American flag on July 4th, 1960, and is the flag we still use today. A star was added for the state of Hawaii, which was the last state admitted to the United States of America on August 21st, 1959. The 50-star flag was ordered by President Eisenhower on August 21st, 1959, and was adopted in July 1960. It is the longest used version of the U.S. flag and has been in use for over 60 years. Which of those flags was your favorite? I think they are all pretty cool for their own reasons. Because the flag is a symbol for our country, it should be treated with courtesy and respect. For that reason, there are some basic rules that every person should know, and a number of them are listed in your handbook. I found a good YouTube video which covers all of these, so go ahead and pause this video and check it out. When you're done watching the video, I would like you to tell your adult partner at least 2 new things you learned about flag etiquette. I also found another good video which does a nice job explaining the Pledge of Allegiance and what it means. Please pause this video again and have a look. Maybe the next time you recite the Pledge of Allegiance, it will have even more meaning for you. Now we will get started with requirement number 2. There are 2 options for completing this, and I will leave it up to you and your family to figure out which one you would rather do, but I will introduce both options. Option 2A says to find out about 2 famous Americans and share what you have learned. You can see on page 111, pull that up, in your handbook, that there are a number of famous Americans listed there. It's on a couple different pages. You could choose to learn about any of them, or any other American you think is interesting. There's a section on page 114 that looks like this, where you can write down what you find out, including the person's name, their birth date, and where they were born, what they did that was so significant to our country, and one thing that you found very interesting about that person. I'll share with you 2 Americans that I think are cool, who both happen to be Eagle Scouts. Neil Armstrong was born on August 5th, 1930 in Wapakoneta, Ohio. His dad worked for the state of Ohio, so he moved around a lot, but was active in Boy Scouts and earned the rank of Eagle Scout. He developed a passion for flying, and at the age of 17, began his studies at Purdue University. He was called up to the Navy in 1949 and was a Navy aviator until 1952, when he returned to college to complete his bachelor's degree in aeronautical engineering, and later received a master's degree in aerospace engineering. He is most famous for being an American astronaut involved in the Gemini and Apollo space programs. But perhaps his most notable achievement was the fact that he was the first man to set foot on the moon during his Apollo 11 mission. Gerald Ford was born on July 14, 1913, in Omaha, Nebraska, and was raised in Grand Rapids, Michigan. He was actually named Leslie Lynch King Jr. at birth, but later changed his name when his mother remarried. He earned the rank of Eagle Scout while living in Michigan in the council that now bears his name. He attended the University of Michigan, where he excelled in football, and later attended Yale Law School, where he earned his law degree. After the attack on Pearl Harbor, he enlisted in the U.S. Naval Reserve, serving from 1942 to 1946. Ford began his political career in 1949 as the U.S. Representative from Michigan's 5th Congressional District, and served in this capacity for 25 years, the last 9 of them as the House Minority Leader. In December 1973, 2 months after the resignation of Vice President Spiro Agnew, Ford became the first person appointed to vice presidency, and after the subsequent resignation of President Nixon in August 1974, he became the president. He is the only president to have earned the Eagle Scout rank and the only president to serve in that role without being elected to it. So feel free to find out about 2 famous Americans that you are interested in, or you could consider completing option 2B. This option says to find out where places of historical interest are located in or near your community, and to go and visit one with your family. A good resource for this kind of information where we live is the Marathon County Historical Society. You can visit their website or talk to someone in person at the Woodson History Center located at 410 McIndoe Street. Here's a little bit of info about our history. Before European settlers came to the area, this land we call home was inhabited for thousands of years by Native Americans. In fact, the name Wassa is derived from an Ojibwe term, which means a faraway place, or a place from which one can see far away. French fur traders were the first Europeans to explore the area. Some of you may know that there exists a waterfall or some rapids where the hydroelectric dam is located near downtown, and the water falling creates many bubbles. The French word for bubbles is boule, which is how this area came to be known as Big Bull Falls, before the name was later changed to Wausau. A lumber baron by the name of George Stevens, the man for whom Stevens Point was named for, was one of the first settlers to the area in 1837. The area, surrounded by lush pine forests, became a center of lumbering soon after settlement. Stevens built the area's first lumber mill in 1839. The Wisconsin River transported lumber and powered the mills. So in case you didn't know, that is why Wausau East's mascot is the lumberjack. The state granted the city a charter in 1872, and the residents elected August Kickbush as their first mayor in 1874. When the railroad arrived in 1874, Wausau became more accessible to settlers and industry. This enabled the city to develop alternatives to the lumber industry, which was in decline since the clear-cutting of many forests. By 1906, the lumber industry was relatively gone, but the city continued to grow and flourish, and its logging legacy somewhat lives on today in the paper-producing industry of the region. Many historic buildings still exist in the Wausau area, such as the many homes on the east side in the Andrew Warren Historic District, which includes the Yawkey House that is part of the Marathon County Historical Society. There are also other architectural places of interest, including many downtown churches, the Leochee Woodson Art Museum, and the old Wausau Train Depot, which used to be home to the Samoset Council offices before their current location. If any of these sound interesting to you, see if you can find out more information about one of the places with your parents' help and go and visit it. Don't forget to take a camera or a sketchbook to record your visit. To satisfy requirement number 3, you must complete at least 2 of these 3 options. So, let me tell you about each of those right now. Option 3A says to visit a local sheriff's office, police station, or fire department and find out what skills they use to do their jobs. Some of you have gotten to visit all 3 of those with the pack in the last couple years. but due to the coronavirus this year, we unfortunately are not able to schedule this type of visit in person. The BSA has created some virtual den meeting resources for den leaders, and for this adventure, they have a virtual tour of a police station in Florida that you could watch to satisfy this requirement. The link for that video is included in the email regarding this virtual den meeting and will be listed in this video at the end of this segment as well. Option 3B says to make a list of emergency numbers and discuss with your family where the list should be kept. Show your family that you know how to call for help in an emergency, and talk with your family about people who could help you if a parent is not available. Your emergency list should definitely include 911, your local police and fire department numbers, as well as poison control. You may also include contacts like your doctor's and dentist's office numbers, your veterinarian if you have a pet, utilities phone numbers for water, gas, electric, and cable, contact numbers for your schools, insurance company contact info, and phone numbers for close relatives and trusted neighbors. Once you've come up with your list, think of a common place in the house where you can keep this list that everyone can find if they need it in an emergency. Then, try running through a few scenarios to see if you're prepared. Option 3C says, with your family, develop a plan to follow in case of an emergency and practice the plan at least 3 times. Good ones to practice for are a fire emergency, power outage, a tornado, and a zombie apocalypse. Okay, just kidding about that last one, but those other 3 are common ones to be prepared for where we live. Some of you may recall working on Emergency Preparedness Award in previous years, but you can earn it at any rank level. Options 3B and 3C tie in nicely with the bare requirements for that award. If you've not yet earned that award, or if you're interested in working on it again, I did include the requirements with the email regarding this virtual den meeting. You can pause the video right now and work on these requirements, or listen for a couple more minutes while I introduce the 4th and final requirement. Requirement 4 says to complete at least one of these 2 options. Option 4A says, do a cleanup project that benefits your community. You could satisfy this requirement if you come help rake leaves with the PAC on Make a Difference Day. The PAC has participated in this event for the last few years, and it's been really fun and really rewarding. The United Way of Marathon County gathers names and addresses for needy individuals to help clear the leaves from their yards. These people are often disabled or elderly and do not have anyone else to assist them, so volunteering to help with this event serves a huge need for the community. If you're not able to make this event, you could always arrange to rake the leaves of another individual in your own neighborhood who is in need. Or another option would be to pick up litter along the streets in your neighborhood or at a community park. If you choose that option, be sure to go with an adult. Wear gloves, stay away from traffic, and put trash and recycling in the proper receptacles when you're done. Option 4B may be a bit more challenging to do right now because of coronavirus, since many in-person events have been canceled or postponed. But it says to participate in a patriotic community parade or other civic event that honors our country. Hopefully, by next May, things will have calmed down enough that we can participate in the Memorial Day Parade and Memorial Day graveside service to honor our veterans like we usually do. It is especially meaningful for us in PAC 400 since our chartering organization is the American Legion Post 10. There may be an opportunity coming up next month on Veterans Day to observe a patriotic ceremony as well. So there you have it, Scouts. Those are all the requirements for this adventure. I hope you learned some cool new things about our country's history and are inspired to be model citizens in our community. Have fun working on these activities and have your parents let me know when you've completed them so I can record your progress in Scout Book. Hope to see you at Make a Difference Day. Have a good week and good scouting.